After a strong start, or at least a decent start to the 2020 season, nickel cornerback's Buster Skrine's play has fallen off. So what's in the future for him in Chicago? The Bears can afford to save $5 million by cutting him after the 2020 season, but is that the right move with two late-round rookie or younger players looking to fill in? Today, we're going to be discussing the future of another current Bears player, Buster Skrine. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the Beared Down channel, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Uncut episode 100. Quite the milestone for us here. You guys have absolutely loved this series. We're going to keep doing it, I'm sure. I believe we're at around podcast number 200, so I'm sure sometime next year the amount of uncuts will catch up to the amount of podcasts. But a pretty crazy milestone for us. I'm sure sometime before the end of the year we'll do the best of Uncut 2020 or something like that. Our editor, Zach Rimbos, will throw together a video of our best moments from this series. But today we are here talking about Buster Skrine. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Chris Maltby. Today, to the right of me, I am joined by my co-hosts, Parth and Jaylen McClinton. Second upload of the day. Fellas, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. Just had class like an hour before this, and now just been relaxing.
Yeah, same. My fault, Parth. But yeah, same here, just relaxing, enjoying my Thursday. I thought I was say Friday. Enjoying my Thursday. No more classes for the rest of the week. So, just playing 2K and, enjoying my week.
You love to see it. And almost Friday, so almost the weekend for us. Looking forward to another live stream on Sunday. Streaming Bears versus Lions should be very fun. But let's hop right into this. We're talking today about Buster Skrine, another veteran player who we might see go after the 2020 season. I would actually say probably more than likely he's gone after the 2020 season. So let's take a look at how Buster Skrine has performed this season. I thought personally Skrine was having a pretty good season up until about week 9 when A.J. Brown had an incredible catch on him for a touchdown, and it's gone downhill for Skrine ever since then. He's allowed an 124 passer rating. That's 9th worst for cornerbacks in the league. Also has allowed a 76.7% completion percentage. That's 10th worst for cornerbacks. Also has allowed 167 yards after the catch and 5 touchdowns allowed, which is the 5th worst for cornerbacks in the NFL. So it's been a rocky season for Buster, especially as of recently. So Jaylen, I'm going to pass it all the way around to you. What do you think about how Skrine has played so far in 2020?
Now, like you said, he started out the season very well. Like after every Bears game, the Bears give out a game ball. He got a couple of them in like the first 5 weeks of the season, and I'm pretty sure the last 5 weeks he ain't got one. So I just feel like he kind of jinxed himself. Like after giving up first of all, it was an amazing catch, an amazing run for A.J. Brown. But after he said,
and then he went on Twitter and said he was the best nickel cornerback.
He was the best nickel corner in the league after giving up a touchdown. Yeah. That's not close. He gave up 4 touchdowns after that. So I feel like he kind of jinxed himself. I wasn't really happy that we gave him that contract back in 2019 anyway. I was a big fan of keeping Bryce Callahan, and of course we didn't do that. Now Bryce is balling out in Denver with Vic Fangio. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna get released this season like you talked about, and it's just disappointing that we continue to give these players big contracts and they just disappoint.
Yeah, taking a look at Bryce Callahan now, I mean, you can always go back and say shoulda, coulda, woulda, re-signed him.
Yeah.
The reason the Bears didn't do it, probably most obviously, is because he struggled with injuries, and he's still struggled with injuries with Denver, but he's been putting together quite the season for him. I'm sorry, I keep looking this way. Our gutters are getting cleaned at my house right now, so there is someone on a 50-foot ladder right outside my window. But, Bryce Callahan has had a good year in Denver. He's the second highest-rated cornerback in the league per Pro Football Focus behind only J.C. Jackson, so quite the year for Buster Skrine, Bryce Callahan, and it's unfortunate that he's not here anymore, but Buster Skrine, I would say as of recently, it's been disappointing. He's become a liability, and teams continue to target him. We'll see what the Detroit Lions end up doing this weekend. It seems like they might be without Kenny Galladay, so a lot of Marvin Jones action, as well as Danny Amendola, who might play. I think he's also missed a day of practice and been limited in another, but we'll see what they end up doing with their corner, with them attacking Buster Skrine. It should be interesting, but I do think Buster's becoming a liability, and I've definitely been disappointed about his play, especially since Jaylen mentioned that Week 9 game. against the Tennessee Titans. So, Parth, I'm going to pass it back around to you. Buster did allow that touchdown to A.J. Brown in Week 9, but that was a heck of a throw by Tannehill and a heck of a catch by A.J. Brown. But ever since then and throughout the season, what have you thought about how he's played?
Like you guys said, he started off the season pretty nice. I thought he played well in the beginning of the season. Yeah, I thought he played well until the Tennessee game. And then we saw last week against Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. I thought Aaron Rodgers was targeting Buster Skrine or Danny Trevathan almost every play. Every play. I mean, Aaron Rodgers would go for Buster Skrine, or they'd line up, Devontae Adams in the slot, and they'd have Buster try to go up against Adams, and we know that did not end up well.
No chance. Yep.
Exactly. So, Fuller, when you have two good cornerbacks in Fuller and Jaylen Johnson, you want to get a good, nickel cornerback, so there's no weak parts on that secondary, especially when you have Eddie Jackson back there. And having Buster has been a liability for the last couple of weeks, and it's shown on this tape. Same with Trevathan. They both have become liabilities for this defense. And, the Bears are going to probably be looking forward to move on from him in 2021.
Yeah, and, it also brings back the whole Kwiatkowski / Trevathan thing because they were paid similarly. Luckily for Trevathan, he has been bad at some points, but there's also a couple games you could point out where he's been absolutely stellar this year. He's been pretty rocky up and down, but I would say for the most part, he's also been a liability. I'm sure we're going to have a video coming out on him sometime this offseason, as well as Kyle Fuller, because you look at Kyle Fuller, he's entering a contract year, and that could be interesting because the Bears seem pretty strapped for cash. And talking about being pretty strapped for cash, obviously I talked about it. The Bears could save $5 million, which is a pretty significant amount in today's league, if they want to move on from Buster Skrine this offseason. So Jaylen, I'm going to pass it around to you. I don't think there needs to be much explanation here, but do you think that this move would make sense for a team that definitely needs some money and definitely needs to look to attribute some of that money towards the offense this offseason? Do you think we see Buster Skrine get cut?
Yeah, it's very likely. I feel like after this season, we're going to have to get rid of some of those huge contracts on the defense. That's where a lot of our money is. I doubt we cut Akeem, but like a person like Akeem, he's making a lot of money. We might reconstruct that. We might like trade like a person like Danny Trevathan.
Kyle Fuller.
I don't think we're going to trade Kyle Fuller, but that's.
I would hope not. But Jaylen Johnson's play has been promising.
More, that's looking like a reconstruction, but like, yes, a person like Buster Skrine who's making a lot of money, and we can get some of that cap back if we release him. And we still have some young guys behind him. We have Duke Shelley, who we took in the 6th round in 2019. He doesn't really play like that other than special teams or in nickel packages. And then we have Kindle Vildor, who we drafted in the 5th round out of Georgia Southern, he's a nickel / safety, so he's very versatile, and that's something that we could look forward to using next season as we try to get better and get younger at the same time for our defense. So I definitely feel like he's probably the odd man out in that secondary. Tashawn Gibson's going to be gone next year, so we need somebody to place his position as well. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of turnover on the secondary in the offseason.
Yeah, taking a look at the Bears' cap space for 2021, they're only at about $5 million right now in 2021 cap space, but they're going to have a decent bit of money rolling over from 2020, Eddie Goldman's money that got taken away, or that we still have. So we'll have some of that rolling over. But if the Bears are looking to really make some moves next offseason, depending on who's the GM, we've talked about it. We talked about it earlier in the Allen Robinson episode. They're going to have to attribute a lot of money to the offensive line, possibly getting some more wide receivers. I talked about Will Fuller in the last episode, depending on what happens with Robinson. They're going to need money to pay guys. They're going to need money to bring guys in, and Pace is going to have to focus on paying the offense. I think Buster is definitely gone, and we're going to talk a little bit later on in this episode about the Shelley versus Vildor argument, who would be the guy that's in-house to fill in if Skrine were to go, and I have a preference there, but I think Buster Skrine definitely doesn't make it next year. His play has been underwhelming. He's getting paid way too much for that, so I don't think he makes it past the 2020 season. But Parth, I'm going to pass it back around to you. Are we all in agreement here? Is Buster Skrine more than likely gone in 2021 in your eyes?
Yeah, most likely he's probably gone, unless if he plays incredible for the next 5 weeks, which I do not expect. So
yeah. Finally, before we close this one off, we've been doing double uploads every single day. The Uncut series definitely making a resurgence here at the end of the year, especially with not much to talk about with the Bears now that they're 5-6. You're going to see a lot of this. Tomorrow, we're probably going to be putting up an Uncut, as well as obviously our Fan Mail Friday segment for our Detroit Lions coverage. But if you guys do have any ideas for us before we end up closing this one off, do us a favor, comment them below, because we always would like to use your guys' ideas and definitely want to help incorporate you guys into our videos. So if the Bears do move on from Skrine, which seems like it's more than likely going to happen, it seems like the logical move to make. I want to ask both of you guys, who would you prefer starting at nickel corner that is already someone that's in-house? I mean, there's obviously a chance that the Bears try and pick up a veteran off the street. The cornerback market normally tends to be pretty loaded, but if you choose someone in-house to start, would you prefer Duke Shelley or Kindle Vildor? I'll go first. I'm going to go with Vildor, at least recently from what I've seen out of him at Georgia Southern. He's great in man coverage. He was an outside corner for them when he was at Georgia Southern, but he lined up on the inside in the slot as well at times, and he was great. Not only that, but I think he's very versatile. He can play out of man and out of zone coverage. He's a versatile player who can do a lot. And, I just haven't seen a ton out of Duke Shelley. I think that's been a little bit of a lamer pick by Ryan Pace, if I had to say so myself. We've seen both of the guys contributing on special teams this year, but personally for me, you take a look at the draft capital that they put into both guys. We saw a 6th-round pick got put into Shelley, a 5th-round pick got put into Vildor. Shelley's also a little bit smaller, so I think Vildor matches up a little bit better. And we saw him have a ton of success guarding some bigger name receivers in college. When they played Clemson, he did a pretty damn good job against T. Higgins, I believe that was that he was guarding. So I like the promise and the talent that comes with Kindle Vildor. I don't know if he's essentially ready. I think maybe you look to sign someone for a veteran's minimum deal, try and bring someone off the street, someone that can just come in and fill in for this defense and hopefully play okay around Jaylen Johnson and Kyle Fuller. But if it's any of the in-house guys, I think Kindle Vildor definitely has the raw talent to be able to step in there at nickel corner and be just fine. So, Parth, I'm going to pass it back to you now. Duke Shelley or Kindle Vildor, who are you choosing to start in 2021 if Buster Skrine's gone?
I'm going to have to go with Kindle Vildor and agree with you here. Kindle Vildor is someone who I think a lot of fans from other teams wanted him, in the late rounds. He was one of the best tackling corners in the college football. He's very good in zone coverage and man coverage, like you said, and he's physical. He plays physical football. He's hungry. He's a 5th rounder. I mean, we can't expect a lot out of him in his rookie year if we do start him next year, but I would not be surprised if the Bears did go to start him. We saw Jaylen Johnson come out and play really well in his rookie year so far, so I would not be surprised if Vildor does the same. The Bears have been known to, produce defensive talent in the NFL, and I wouldn't be surprised if we can develop Vildor into a really good nickel cornerback.
I mean, if there's one thing that we can credit Chuck Pagano for, he's gotten a lot of hate from Bears fans this year, but he's done a very good job, I think, at developing the secondary. Jaylen Johnson, Kyle Fuller's gotten better with him. Eddie Jackson just got one of the biggest safety contracts in the NFL. I think it was the biggest at the time, but then Booty Baker signed one. Deion Bush has looked great when he's gotten opportunities this year. He hasn't looked great at times, but Deshaun Gibson has been pretty good. He's got 2 interceptions on the season, so I definitely trust Chuck Pagano to be able to develop defensive backs. I don't know how comfortable, essentially, I would feel with Vildor as the week 1 starter, but I would feel good knowing he has a good supporting cast, and the Bears are a team that throughout time has produced some great secondary pieces. I mean, Adrian Amos and Bryce Callahan both balling out in their new destination, so the Bears have done a great job at that. Jaylen, I don't remember the last time in an episode that we've gone 9 for 9 in agreeing. We all agreed that Skrine was playing poorly this year. We all agreed that he should get cut. And Parth and I have said that Kindle Vildor should be the starter next year if the Bears don't look to bring anyone in. So are we in full agreement here throughout this entire episode? Duke Shelley or Kindle Vildor, who you got next year if they don't?
I got Kindle Vildor. So before I start, I remember, what was that? 2019, when Duke Shelley, that whole 2019 rookie class, Duke Shelley was one of the hottest names out of training camp and rookie training camp, of course. So he was making plays just all over the field, just like tip passes and interceptions in rookie mini camp and training camp and stuff like that. But he really didn't get an opportunity because, of course, we just paid Buster Skrine all this money to pull him in from the New York Jets. So, and in drafting Kindle Vildor, I feel like he's a very versatile player. He can play outside, he can play inside. He can play a little bit of safety as well. But I'm gonna go with Kindle Vildor just because I feel like he's more versatile. We can move him everywhere over the field and not just the nickel corner, and as well as him being a little bit bigger. Duke Shelley's like 5'6", 5'7", maybe even like shorter than that. So while Kindle Vildor is like 5'8".
Saw me taking a picture with Duke Shelley last year at Bears versus Chiefs, and I was easily taller than him. And I'm like 5'9", 5'10". So, that should be interesting. But that'll pretty much do it for this one, guys. We're all in agreement for episode number 100 of Uncut, and it seems like it's fitting to be that way. So Buster Skrine's future definitely up in the air, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to get episode 101 of Uncut out to you guys tomorrow. Not sure what exactly it'll be on yet, but double uploads every day of December. So please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a ton to us. The Bears definitely a team that's trending downwards right now, but you guys still show us consistent support, and we very much so appreciate it. If you want more content from us, head over to our website, bearddown.com. We're posting columns, articles, and blogs right now to get you guys ready for the Bears' Week 11 matchup, or Week 11. I keep screwing up the week. I said Week 10 on Instagram earlier. Week 13 matchup with the Detroit Lions. Be sure to go check out our website for that. If you want more content from us on social media, Beared Down on Instagram and Twitter. We're announcing a Christmas giveaway very soon. We will be live streaming Bears versus Lions on this YouTube channel on Sunday, so be sure to look out for that. And finally, you can find the links to all of our social media down in the description, Instagram and Twitter. I suggest following them all. We're very active on all those platforms, and it's a great way to interact with us. So, Parth, Jaylen McClinton, we might see the Bears turning a page this offseason, moving on from a couple of the veterans on the defensive side of the ball. Buster Skrine, definitely one of them that not only would make sense, but definitely would put the Bears in a good position to spend some more money next offseason. Any last words before we close this one out, fellas?
Yeah, like you said, the Bears are going to try to, maximize their spending this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if we, traded or cut a couple players that, you didn't expect us to trade or cut, just so we can, add beef up the O-line or, sign a wide receiver if Allen Robinson leaves.
I can't believe this is episode 100 of Uncut.
Yeah.
I remember we first made the first episode.
We pumped out so many in March and April, and I can't even remember that. That was originally during quarantine.
I
Feels like so long
remember
ago.
when you brought the idea to us. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And we're already at episode 100. So I think it took way too long for us to get at episode 100, but that's neither here nor there. Other than that, Bear Down. We play the Lions this week. Not really excited to, like I said, watch this offense play football, but so
Yeah, the Uncut series, one that definitely holds close to my heart because, 2020 for us, and we'll talk about it more in upcoming podcasts. It was a year we came in not too motivated. I said, hey, what if we make this a multimedia brand, make it a website? And we ended up blowing up off it. And Uncut's one of the series that did very well for us. And we're eternally grateful that you guys continue to support this series, continue to support us. 2020 has been absolutely incredible. Once again, we're all very young. It's just the start for us. So be sure to stick in with us, and we're going to keep pumping out these videos for you guys. Once again, it's been a pleasure to be your host. My name is Chris Malpe. 2020 has been incredible. I'm sure by the end of the year, we're going to have a video out with our best moments for 2020, probably also our best moments from Uncut. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. We've grown our channel on here. We've multiplied it by 10 in our following, and we've also got almost 200 listeners on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So we're eternally grateful for the support you guys give us, and we're going to keep pushing out content each and every day for you guys. Double uploads all December. Bears fans, as always, do us a favor and stay safe and bear down. Have a great Thursday night, and we will see you guys to close off this weekend before the Bears and the Lions play. And that's pretty much it for me, guys. Peace.